Here.
So welcome to the work session tonight. It's a delight to look out and see all the people here and to be able to celebrate the successes of all of our employees. And so I'm looking forward to that portion of the school board meeting tonight. Looking at the agenda tonight, we have the minutes from the last meeting. We do have, as I said earlier, several people to acknowledge and celebrate tonight. One of those celebrations we're going to keep toward the end of the meeting for our chairman. So we'll hold that to the end. As far as budget amendments, there are 3 budget amendments. The first one is innovative school models, and that is to move money from some cabling and other capital outlay to supplies and materials for York Elementary School. If you'll remember, they were the elementary school that got the least amount of money through ISM due to the size of the school of the 7th and 8th graders. So we're trying to move some money there to give them some more supplies and materials. The second budget amendment is for non-employee coaches. That is to cover the cost of those non-employee coaches, their stipend reimbursement. I think we had a few more non-employee coaches than we had thought we would have this year. The next budget amendment is kind of the mid-year cleanup to try to not wait till the end if we're over in any lines. A couple of the lines that stood out to me that we've been really looking at and sensitive to, number one was the professional development line. We had more expenses in professional development from the get-go than we thought we would have. We had Capturing Kids' Hearts. We had Kagan Strategies. I know Kagan Strategies was very expensive professional development. It was well received with the teachers. I can see one back there shaking her head, yes. We were able to do it for one grade band, and we're hoping next year to be able to do that again for some other teachers as well. And so that line we were really looking at. We were fortunate in that we had some extra funds in bonus payment because we didn't know what the bonus payment would look like and what the state would actually end up giving us, who they included in that teacher count. So that line we overestimated, which is in our benefit, so that we're able to move those funds into the lines that we need them. Next, we have a facility use agreement between the Fentress County School and American Red Cross. I know that Mr. Beal has facilitated a tabletop at Clark Range High School with some different stakeholder groups and has also walked through with American Red Cross the site at Clark Range High School. Now that we have the generator up, it can be a shelter site, so we need to get that agreement in place so that we can move forward with that. I think that's a great thing for our community and being able to provide a shelter on the south end of the county, and I think, Mr. Peters, you've worked very hard on that as well. We would like to also recognize some outstanding cafeteria staff tonight and the lunch ladies, and we hardly ever get to see them out here, and I know they have to get up very early in the morning, so we may move that item a little earlier in the meeting, if you're all right with that, Chairman Cook.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We also have an agreement with Fentress County Schools and the Department of Agriculture for commodities. This is something on a state level, and Ms. Sherry, if you want to speak to it, you can, that has, apparently they had not been doing an agreement, even though we've been receiving the commodities. So the State Department in their checks noticed that and sent out to the school systems. So the next one is the local education compliance report, and this is where the principals sign off that we're in compliance with all local laws and state laws. We also have revisions to 3 policy. The first one is student records, and that policy, basically the change to it is based on the new law where if a child transfers schools, we have 5 days to get the school that they've transferred to records and vice versa. So that is the first policy revision. The second policy revision is interscholastic athletics policy, and basically in this one, it lists students that are in virtual school, and basically they have the same rights as a student that is homeschooled to participate in sports. Again, that was based on the new laws passed this year. And then also the use of the internet. The use of the internet basically says that students may not access social media platforms during the school day except with express permission by teachers. And again, we know that students are not supposed to have phones out during any instructional time, so hopefully that will take care of itself, but it is changed to the wording of the policy. The last item is permission for the executive committee, along with our attorney Evan Wright, to pursue some land for the Clark Range High School site. We would like to try to enter into negotiations, and I know that in our budget, our fiscal budget for this year, we set aside some funds to be able to purchase land. And so we would like to have that permission. Just with giving us permission, it does not mean that we will buy the land. We have to bring that back to the board for approval for actual purchase. So we're just able to enter into the negotiations, and again, Mr. Wright would help us with that process.
All right. It's plain and simple and easy enough. All righty. Before we do anything different, we'll move number 7 up. We'll put it in the number 3 position there. We'll move it up so those ladies can be recognized. They can go home, and men, whoever the cooks are. And before we get started, is this budget stuff, 3 through 5 could probably all be done in one motion if you want to, or we can do them separate. And then 11, 12, 10, 11, and 12 could all be done in one motion if y'all don't have any questions about them.
Sure.
All right, is it number 5?
Very sizable amount. Although the 5,000 is add up, 188,000 is quite a bit to be adjusted.
Part of that was my raise.
Is
Miss Christie, you want to explain that?
Yeah.
Maybe you can spend it on caviar back.
Yeah.
So Ms. Casey did provide me some notes. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here, and I know Ms. Sear inquired earlier about her questions, and would you like to say something on that behalf?
If I can turn this mic on, I'll tell you, I ask, because my biggest question is, you can see that we're pulling 173,000 from regular instruction bonus lines, but that was because we got more money from the state.
Then we anticipated getting for the teacher
we budgeted
bonus.
one amount because we weren't expecting to get the full amount from the state that they did. They ended up covering more than we expected. And then we always budgeted extra because we were trying to figure out what exactly budget-wise we were choosing to do whenever we made those decisions for the $2,000. And then if they worked less than 120 days, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
But where we
Prorated.
made the adjustment on what exactly that bonus was, that changed in that line item. And then that made sense to me because I was trying to figure out how we had that much more money in there.
The other thing, in looking at Ms. Casey's notes, and I do recall this, we did also budget less for this fiscal year in substitutes because we had some extenuating circumstances last year where people were out on leaves and stuff, and we didn't think we would be in that same position this year. Unfortunately, we have been. So one thing is to increase the line for substitutes. Also, we also have, we'll be paying more stipends actually paid this year than past years for in-service. So just some notes that she made. Again, the professional development was one category that we knew right away, and at central office it was flagged that we were going to be very tight in that one because we had also cut the PD line in hopes of moving that money to other places, but we soon realized that with federal being so tied up, that we weren't able to supplement with the federal.
That's going to be my next question. Is it going to be changed, and what line will it be found on? 188,500. Will it be carried over so that we can use it, like you said, for the shortfalls that may be coming? And
So-
what line will it be found on?
So if you'll look at your sheet, it's budgeted for multiple different lines there. It's under the credit column that you all have. So it's anything from educational assistants, and that's where last year there were 3 educational assistants that didn't get hired at different schools, and we finally got those positions hired. That's 71,100, 163. Then we've got your substitute lines, which is 7,100, 195, and you have state retirement. There's been some errors in state retirement, and again, that's neither here nor there, but with that retirement, we're credited in that area, and then vocational instruction. So you have that. It was in your packet.
Yes.
So all the lines are outlined of where that 188,000 is going specifically.
So since
One thing, we did provide you the financial statement. One thing, keep in mind, finance is not closing those books as early, and so the financial statement oftentimes is behind. So if you look at that, it's November, and I think we talked about that earlier today.
Well, they just now closed October, so, yeah.
since that's going to be a lot to talk about, we'll probably do that with a separate motion instead of adding in with 3 and 4. Any other questions on 3, 4, and 5?
The only question that I had, and I wanted it to be out public, was do we have an update on where we voted for the rest of the doors and when does it Pine Haven to be done?
Yes, I signed a PO today for
Yay.
the bid to be let in the newspaper.
Awesome. Wonderful. I know that they were out over Christmas break. It was Cookville Window
Mhm.
was there almost every day over Christmas break, parked out front to,
And that was replacing some things that got done wrong, remembering the option that
Yes.
we selected.
What about the windows in the kitchen? Did that include those, where you can see the grass through the holes? The frames in the I should say the dining area in Pine Haven.
These were
The
door and
frames
window
are rusted
com.
out, and you can see the ground in there.
I don't know.
I don't, Miss Tracy, you're back there. Yeah, I know the window tint was part of the redo. Okay.
We don't really know on that part yet.
No, I know that we did not bid, I'm pretty sure we did not bid the cafeteria because we were doing the rest of the door window combos. That was not replaced originally at Pine Haven. We only did so many, and then we were going to do another phase of them.
That was supposed to be caught in the second or third round.
I don't remember.
I
it,
can follow
but I
up.
can go back and look at my notes. I don't remember the kitchen windows, or cafeteria windows, I should say.
The second phase, it's, as I said earlier, I just signed the bid for it to be advertised in the newspaper, so it's going to be a unit combos, yeah.
All right.
There's no way to change those bid specs to include those windows, could we? Would that be? would
I'd
it
have to
only
get with,
be-
that's with Alan Hill, I'd have to get with him and see if there could be a change order done, we'd have to get specs on them.
Maybe. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I need another chair, huh? What about any
I know you're a
discussion?
lawyer if you hit the ground.
Is there any discussion on 6 there? Gary, anybody want, is there a generator and stuff?
Yeah, they've got the generator in and it's hooked up. It has been for a month or two.
Mhm.
And what we've been working with is with American Red Cross. They've been up here to a couple of our LEPC meetings, and they've been working with the public out in that area, getting together a team trained in Red Cross. And we had our meeting here the other day, and I think everything, according to Christy, what she was telling me, she's been keeping up with as well. Now we're ready to go. Only thing we need is just an agreement between the board and the Red Cross to go ahead and proceed with it. Now, we've got 2 shelters here in Jamestown, and they both have generators. We've got First Baptist Church, and then we've got the community center out here. But we've not had anywhere in Clark Range for many, many years. And it kind of, if you get an ice storm like we had several years ago where there was a blackout over the entire county, then we'll need a shelter in Clark Range as well as here in Jamestown. And there could be other things that occur. We'd need one out there where we wouldn't need one here either. But I think it's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing for the community out there for southern end of the county in the case of a disaster. And that's just one more thing that we've been working on. And I'd urge you to vote for this agreement with the Red Cross so we can get started with this.
This generator's been a long time coming. All righty, any discussion about any of the rest of those down there? Any of the agreements? Revision of the student records, revision of the interscholastic athletics policy, revision of use of the internet policy. Surely there'll be somebody who want to talk about that one.
Pretty straightforward.
All
On
right.
number 11, is this coming from the state? Is it something that we're just, okay,
It's from the state, it's based on the new laws passed.
we're not going to have to pool coaches or,
No.
okay.
No. Basically, again, it gives the virtual school students the same option as homeschool, which means basically that they are allowed to try out for any of the
That's all.
sports at the school.
Any other discussion on any of these? How about the land purchases? What kind of discussion, is that?
I asked my question earlier today, just to get understanding. It's just to negotiate, and then they bring it back to the board, and then we have to approve the purchase. So, makes perfect sense to me.
All righty.
Let's go.
Any other?
Yes. York Elementary, there's not any kind of lock on the bathroom doors, girls or boys. Can we get some?
Okay, so I checked with school administrators the other day. So there are, in the boys' restroom, there are locks on all the doors except for the last two, and they have been fixed. I know Mr. Andy even worked on them, but the problem is the kids have been pushing on them, so sometimes they come in. But yes, we can certainly look and see if there's anything else we can do. What happens is those partitions end up weakening the more they're hung on or swung on or that kind of stuff, and so then you kind of have a breakdown there. Miss Courtney, Miss Marcia, is there anything that you would like to add to that? But we can certainly, Miss Karen, want to make sure that they all do secure. Do you have anything you would want to say? Problem is the last two, I think, on the boys, it locks, but if you push on it, you can push it open. So yes, we can see, get with maintenance and see if there's anything we can do to replace those.
Those rocks new or old?
They're new, actually, aren't they? And didn't Mr. Andy put some new ones on? Miss Marcia, is that what you found out?
Good deal.
Anything else before we start the meeting?
I'll have on old business, I want to discuss a Clark Range High School counselor.
All righty.
We can bring that up. You want to do it now?
Yeah, you can do it in the work session, then we'll
Okay.
bring it up.
What I want to talk to is, this is my opinion. I've worked in elementary schools over the years, and I've worked in high schools, and two people that you have to have in a school. It takes a lot of people, but two people that you've got to have when you need them is a school nurse, and you've got to have a counselor, and they have two very different jobs. And I know at Clark Range that we do not have a counselor, and I found out this past holiday season that we've not had one since before Thanksgiving. And those of you that have kids in high school or have just graduated a child out of high school, this is just unheard of and unthought of, because right now they've spent 13 years, well, juniors and seniors. This is when they're making plans for where they're going to follow up as an adult. Are you going to the military? Are you going to go to, TCAT or a college? And that falls to your counselor to get that ready. And you miss a lot of windows. I mean, we're in the process of testing, paperwork being sent in, grants applied for, and we don't have anybody on staff that is a certified counselor, and that concerns me greatly. I know where our household would be had we not had a good counselor when our son graduated, because that's their job, and that's why it's so hard to find them. And we need one at Clark Range High School. We owe it to our kids and their families to have one, and that's what I want to talk about in the business meeting.
All right. Ms. Christie,
Okay.
you want
It's nothing horrid.
Gotcha.
That's just what I want to talk about.
Okay. So one of the things I will say on the mental health side of it is that we actually have more mental health supports in schools than we ever have before.
Yes.
Because we have Project Basic, we have volunteer behavior health pushing in. We also, the opioid abatement committee has provided us a licensed professional counselor that comes 2 days a week to the high school. We also have a 21st century personnel that can help as far as student needs. So I do think we have more mental health options than we've ever had in the past with our schools. I know that we've at times, Mr. Bradley has had to call a counselor to come up from South Fentress, which is not unheard of, that we, have utilized a counselor from another school. I know he's pushing out. Part of the problem is you can't hire someone if you don't have the applicants. And there's just sometimes vacancies that are unfilled. We're in the process right now of providing the State Department the vacancy report. And the vacancy report is your count of how many vacant spots you had in the month of December, provided to the State Department. So unfortunately, we don't have one. I think Mr. Bradley has done an excellent job of seeing that students are supported, getting word out about FAFSA, getting word about scholarships out, and he should be commended because he is really doing a tremendous load. I'm very proud of him. So again, without an applicant, it's hard to get one. We've got some differentiated pay options available for guidance counselors. I know Miss Tammy Norman, I don't know if she's got here yet. She was in training earlier. Her and Sherry worked on the Project Raise, and so that we have additional bonuses just for counseling positions. But again, you can't hire one if you don't have an applicant. I've reached out to Tennessee Tech. Mr. Bradley has been with me when I've reached out to those places. We've posted online. Again, it's just a vacancy that we have not been able to fill at this time.
Well, I know that you hired, or we, I'm going to say we, because we're all in this together. That's what they're looking at, is for us to get their children through school. We did hire somebody. I know that Ms. York was kind enough to sit in on the interview, Principal Bradley, and he is to be commended. He's carrying a big burden out there right now with no assistant principal and no counselor on staff. The lady walked into this situation and was assured that she would get a waiver. Not once did she say that she didn't have it, but she was assured that she would get a waiver, to the point that she left her job. See, that's what concerns me. We have an obligation. I have an obligation. This is where it's going to be an I. I have an obligation. I'm a board member. If I give my word, then people trust us to do it the best we can. This lady went to work. She saw children because she was waiting on the waiver to come in. Okay? There is no waiver for a counselor. You can look on the Tennessee State site, and there is no waiver for a counselor.
There is a permit, and it is available, but you have to be enrolled just like any other job embedded candidate.
And the problem that we ran into was when you get enrolled into a college, your college, Tennessee, the state of Tennessee will allow us to do a permit, but your colleges don't want to follow through with that permit unless you have 2 years of class funding and you can start in the third year.
And she didn't have that.
We didn't know that.
But why didn't we know that?
Well, because I'm learning with licensure right along with everybody
Okay.
else. So when we went into this, we knew that she was going to get a permit. I reached out to my licensure person with the state of Tennessee. He assured me that she's doing a good job embedded. There were 19 universities in the state of Tennessee that were approved for that. She had to find one of those colleges that would accept her. Once she found one, the cost was going to be a lot more than what she wanted to pay. And then, once we found all of that out, she was offered another position.
Well, but it was for teaching, and she said right up front, and I think Mr. Bradley can and you yourself can verify that, she didn't want a teaching position. I don't want to get all bogged down in this, but this lady walked away. She's raising 3 children with her husband. She gives a lot of her time to this county, and she wanted to be a part of us. She wanted to be a part of the education system. And it didn't work out the way that we told her it would. So she has walked away from a job, a very good job, and
And I have spoken to her personally,
Mhm.
and she is fine at this point. I have spoken to her. She does, her words to me is, the area that came up roadblock, like she actually uses, that she's going to solve it.
well, we as a board, I can't speak for God. I try to listen to him, but I can't speak for him. I will say this. We need to be very careful. Very careful, because what she was told, she received a phone call to come and interview, and she was upfront and honest, and I know her. She is an honest person. And it didn't work out that way. And she lost her job over it, over something that we could not deliver. And that causes me a lot of concern.
All right.
Yep.
Anything else? Ms. Starling, anything else?
Not at this time. We'll wait.
All right, if y'all are ready, I'll call the meeting to order.
Thank you, sir.
Before we get started in our meeting, I think we need to have a moment of silence for Mr. Charlie Neal, one of our drivers that passed away this week. So,
Also, I'll say we've got a little plaque in the back, and if anybody would like to visit that, it was very unexpected, and I'm sure his family could use your thoughts.
all righty. All righty. In your packet there, you have a number one there, the reading of the minutes of the last meeting. Is there any correction or changes we need to make?
Make a motion, we accept the meeting minutes from last meeting.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second that we accept them as they are. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Your director's report. Anything in there that you want to discuss? Or your financial report?
I would like to know where the land is, basically, that we're looking at.
So there was a couple different parcels of land that we looked at quite a while back with Mr. Wright. So one was across the street, one was connecting land. We also, at one point in the budget, when we set that budget, we also was considering a piece of land connecting to the bus garage, which we've looked at that, and we're not going to pursue that land at this time.
How many acres are we looking
It
at? I know it's rough, depending on the land, but
It depends on
how
which
much
parcel
would we
of
like to
land.
have?
Yeah.
Well, for what we want, what the vision is, how many acres are we looking at?
I think we'll find out once the negotiation goes through.
Yep, you should still, if you've got a dream or a vision. I mean,
So we're
are
saying
you wanting
2
a
to-
petting zoo or you want a farm?
2 to 3. We're looking at 2 to 3.
acres.
It'd be nice if we could get more, but if we can't, 2 to 3 acres.
All right, that's something we should have talked about in the work session. Let's get back on track here. Number 7, we're going to move it up to, the public comment record letters. Anybody signed the letter? All right, then number 7, we moved
Wait.
it up to, pardon? Yeah, the recognition's next then. All right, Miss Christie.
Okay, so tonight we have several teachers in the audience, and we just want to take this time to celebrate them. They are our Teacher of the Years. So we'll start with our Pre-K 4 Teachers of the Year, and teachers, I would ask for you to come up front if you can and stay until we get everyone up. So we're going to start with Allard Elementary Pre-K through 4 Teacher of the Year, which is Miss Pam Knatzer. Miss Pam is, if you've ever saw her with those little kindergarten kids, it's something to see, and she does a great job with them. Miss Kay McQuarrie is Pine Haven's Teacher of the Year, and she's currently teaching 3rd grade, Reading Language Arts. And Miss Kay has truly blossomed over the last few years in her new role as a reading teacher, and she works very hard to ensure that all of our students are learning. Next, we have from South Fentress Elementary, Miss Della Sandoval. Miss Della is very nurturing to the kids. I walked into the school one day, and she's holding a kid with his head bleeding, and again, she's very nurturing, but she has also helped support new teachers in her grade level, and so very proud of her. Our next Teacher of the Year, Pre-K through 4, is not only York Elementary's Teacher of the Year, but also the County Teacher of the Year, and is with great pride that I say Miss Amy Thoman from York Elementary is representing Fentress County across the region as Teacher of the Year. And I know that Miss Amy has looped with students for a couple of years, but she truly advocates for the students in her class. She's not willing to shed tears over them and come to us and say, we need this, and this is why. She don't just ask, she brings solutions and how it can be done. So very proud of Miss Amy and looking forward to her going to the regional competition. Can we take some pictures? Let me get up there. Can we take
Y'all move over here in the center where you can. Want a photo of them?
I'm going to try to stay up here and do our next group. Our next group is 5-8 Teachers of the Year. Our first 5-8 Teacher of the Year is an outstanding teacher from Allard Elementary, and that is Miss Kelly Wheatonstone. Miss Kelly truly has very high expectations. I love to visit her classroom. It's a classroom you can just stay in all day. I'm sure she'd want to get rid of us, but it's a great place to visit. Our next 5-8 Teacher of the Year is Pine Haven's Teacher of the Year, and that's Miss Jamie Andrews. Miss Jamie has really flourished the last year. If you've seen her classroom at TCAP time, if you've seen the things that she does to motivate and inspire kids, it is truly amazing, and they've responded so well to her. So congratulations, Miss Jamie. Our next Teacher of the Year is from York Elementary, and that is Miss Kendra West. And Miss Kendra comes from a little different pathway. She is a school guidance counselor, and I know there's been several late evenings I've got to spend with Miss Kendra in the role that she's playing. She's a wonderful resource for York Elementary and a spokesperson across the county for guidance counselors. And this year's 5-8 Teacher of the Year for Fentress County comes from South Fentress, and that is Miss Shannon Phillips. Miss Shannon Phillips has been so willing to go wherever's needed. She's been in fourth grade and different grade levels, and we've moved her probably at times out of her comfort zone to 7th and 8th grade. And wherever she's at, the students are in good hands, and she excels with them. That's also a place she'd love to visit and stay in her classroom, and she really challenges kids with reading and text. So congratulations to all of you. You each represent our county very well. So thank you for what you do for kids every day.
Yeah. Headache.
Finally is our 9-12 Teacher of the Year. And our 9-12 Teacher of the Year for not only Clark Range High School, but for the county, is Miss Tasha Hull. She has a fan club in the audience. Miss Tasha does a lot of the English. She's also very willing to do anything, and except for take your picture when it's pajama day. So I think we visited her on pajama day, and we're like, we will come back when we presented her goodies. But an outstanding teacher and very thoughtful in the work that you do. So congratulations.
Let's go ahead and skip to number 7, Eddie, and I'll make that motion.
All righty.
I'll second.
Number 7, we'll recognize you got a motion to recognize the Food Service Appreciation Day, January 15th, 2026. Have a motion to second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Now they can go home and start cooking for tomorrow.
So I would like to take a moment to read the resolution again. Our food staff are tremendous. They're wonderful. This year they have been challenged with new recipes, new ideals, and they are doing a wonderful job. I love it when I get pictures from the food ladies. They're like, we've got hot wings today, or we've got macaroni and cheese homemade. So we're seeing kids starting to sample some other things. We're seeing adults get excited about what's on the menu. I've tried to eat some when I can and get to the schools, and I want to do more of that. But our food staff people are tremendous. They're wonderful. Getting to work with them this summer during summer food, it is amazing how hard they work. I mean, and they never complain at all. They just get in there and do the work, and they take care of our kids every day. So I would like to take the time to read this resolution. It says, whereas the food service workers in our school system play a vital role in nurturing students by preparing and serving a nutritious meal that fuel both academic success and personal growth, and whereas these dedicated individuals begin their workday before the school doors open, ensuring the students and staff start their day with well-prepared, balanced breakfasts and lunches, and whereas the food service staff consistently demonstrate kindness, encouragement, and positivity, creating a warm and welcome cafeteria environment for all students. And whereas the commitment to excellence and reliability supports the daily operations of our schools and reflects their deep care for the well-being of every student. And whereas food service workers contribute meaningfully to the educational mission by partnering with school staff to promote a healthy, supportive, and effective learning environment. And whereas the Director of Schools and the Board of Education of Fentress County Schools proudly acknowledge the essential role food service workers play in maintaining the health and success of our students and staff. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this board formally recognizes the outstanding contributions of our food service workers and expresses sincere gratitude for their unwavering service and dedication. And be it further resolved that January 15th will be designated as Food Service Appreciation Day in all Fentress County schools, approved by the Fentress County Board of Education in regular session on January 12th. So can I have all of our food service people to come up?
Christy, I didn't know you could cook.
Lord, had it be, them youngins.
I would like to give Ms. Sherry York the opportunity to also speak on behalf of the food service staff because she's worked closer with them this last year or so. And so, Ms. Sherry.
I won't take up too much time, but I want to say thank you. Without you all, our kiddos would not have what they need. You know, Miss Tracy Todd, I need to give her some recognition. She really does a lot more with school nutrition than I do. She is just really on top of it, and she works closely with these ladies and gentlemen. But I look at what they do to our kids, for our kids every day, breakfast and lunch, and they do a fabulous job. And I just want to say thank you, and we all want to say thank you again for what you do. We appreciate it.
I can safely say not many people get a standing ovation. We are so proud of you all.
I'll give you a quick story while they're getting their picture made. I had a grandparent call me to brag, which you don't always hear of from a board member's side. You don't always get the brag stories. So I had a grandparent, she was talking to me, and she could do nothing but brag about the staff in the cafeteria at an elementary school in the county. And her comment was, I'm really sad, though, because my grandkids don't want me to pick them up and take them out to eat before school anymore because they got this new chef at school. And apparently the food's too good now, and so now I can't pick them up and take them. So the grandma was like really upset, and I thought that was too cute not to share.
Who's the chef?
Do what?
Can I tell one quick story? Mr. Bradley, do I have permission to tell a story about your daughter? So for the lunch ladies, one of the new menu items we've tried this year has been chicken legs. And so Miss Marie was kind enough to send me pictures one day of the little kids eating their chicken legs. And it was the cutest picture ever. And I happened to be at the high school, and I was talking to Mr. Bradley, and I said, look at these pictures. And it came about that his daughter was in one of the pictures. And I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to post it or anything. We were just talking about it. And he's like, I'm really surprised she ate that. And so that evening, I happened to still be at the school, and Mr. Bradley's wife came in, and she said the same thing. I can't believe she ate that. So we know that she tried chicken legs at school. Kudos.
All right, are you done?
No, I forgot one. Okay. So I failed to do the support staff of the year. I'm sorry. So I want to make sure that we recognize them. Again, we couldn't do without lunch ladies, cafeteria, custodians, all the different support groups. But our support staff are also fantastic. So the support staff for the year at Pine Haven was Miss Flora Blevins. Miss Flora has been in the cafeteria for many, many years at Pine Haven. At South Fentress Elementary, Miss Bridget Turnbull. If you'll come up, Miss Bridget. From York Elementary, Miss Natalie Duncan. From Clark Range High School, Miss Anna Diaz. I saw Miss Anna over the weekend. And from Aller, it was Miss Lisa Selby. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to run up there and get my picture made with you ladies because we're so proud of you.
It must be something about that pole on the right there. It gravitates them all over tonight for some reason.
Yeah. Smile.
I'm proto bombing it enough back here as it is. It's hot in here. Jimmy must have had hold of the thermometer. Now, are you finished?
So we can do 3 and 4 together.
All righty, we'll, number 3 on your paper there, of course, it's been changed, but the budget amendment, innovative school model, these are budget amendments for, that's $5,300. I need a motion that we can put 3 and 4 both together. The number 4 is a budget amendment, non-employees, coaches for $5,000. I'll entertain a motion. We
Make the motion.
3 and 4 is in one motion. I have a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion about them? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Number 5. Number 5 is a budget amendment, mid-year cleanup for $188,500.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Number 6 is your use agreement between the Fentress County Schools and the American Red Cross.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Number 8, the agreement with the Fentress County Schools and the Tennessee Department of Agriculture for commodities.
I'll
Second.
second.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Number 9, the 2025 Local Education Compliance Report.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carries. Number 10, 11, and 12, I'll read them. The revision of the Student Record Policy 6.600. Number 11 is the revision of the Interscholastic Athletics Policy 4.301. And number 12, the revision to use of Internet Policy 4.406.
I'll make that
entertain a
motion.
motion. We tie those 3 together. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion on any of the policies? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carries. Number 13, permission for the Executive Committee to pursue land
Make that motion.
acquisitions.
second.
Second.
Make the motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion, second. Any other discussion on it? I should have discussed this during the meeting. I just assumed that everybody knows what land we was talking about, so that's my mistake. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, likewise. Motion carries.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to do one more recognition.
All righty.
So this recognition, I did want to do it at the end because I've invited some former board members, and I see 1 or 2 out there, and we have some refreshments in the back. This is an accomplishment that is not very often that you find across the state of Tennessee. And so tonight, I want to recognize and celebrate our board chairman, Eddie Cook. He was recognized during the November statewide conference for TSBA for achieving the Quarter Century Club. And so the Quarter Century Club recognizes local school board members in Tennessee who have dedicated 25 years or more to serving their communities on their local boards of education, and it grants them honorary life membership in the TSBA and celebrates their long-term commitment to public education. You know, I was speaking with someone earlier, and we talked about how difficult it is when you have a full-time job. And speaking of Eddie, I know you're out on the road a lot, and a lot of times when I call you, you're driving and out of state. He always quickly returns my phone call. He's always about what is best for kids, and that's one of the first things that he told me. You take care of those kids. Is there any other board member that would like to share a story about Eddie or to recognize some of the accomplishments?
No. It is getting hot in here now.
But truly, we owe a lot of the successes of our school system to his consistent efforts. We've expanded the vocational with the vocational building. I know you were talking about that earlier. You know, he has backed our student programs and our sports and athletics, but also instructional. I'm delighted, too, that his family is here tonight and so thankful. So I would like for him to come up front also because we do have your plaque from TSBA, and we would truly like to honor you for serving public education for 25 years.
Stand up there with all them women, he looks blessed, is what I say.
Eddie, on
Yes.
this year night before we dismiss, we had one other piece of business, and that was the old business that
Okay.
I brought up.
All right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead
Thank
and
you.
before I'll let you get to that, and then I'll say a thing or two.
No,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. You go ahead, and I'll finish up then.
Well, I just wanted to say it's been a short 25 years, and I've worked with a lot of board members and the teachers and everything like that, and it's been real quick. I hope I'm around for the next 25. But
Start to say you're surely not done yet.
oh yeah. Well, it just you know, everybody that all the people we've recognized here tonight, and all of our teachers, and it's like Darlene says, it's a one-man show. We're all together, so
Yes.
as long as everybody keeps that in the right place, we'll all be all right. And our kids in Fentress County need to be proud, and our parents, of the education system that these people have put together between the TCAT Center and the new buildings. And, I mean, people like Gary and them working on these things as far as, what is it I'm talking about? Get some of that.
Recreation.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you can get an education for your kid and never leave the county when this TCAT Center opens. So we all need to be proud. We've had York here to lead the way for us, and that's give us a lot of good, you know, it's just been a blessing for us to have York in our county, and Fentress County, we've tried to do the best we know how. So I've enjoyed it. Thank y'all.
And you have. You've hung in there with us.
Yeah. There's been times I wondered.
And I was glad to hear when she said I'd call Eddie, and he was on the road, and I thought, that's illegal. Don't bring that up. But she did say you'd call her back.
Yep.
This is what I'd like to say to finish up tonight's business. The young woman that was called and asked to come in and interview, she did. She was offered the job, and she took the job. We're all in agreement with that. She got information that was not correct. We're not here to point fingers. What happened, happened. Okay? But in good faith, she looked to us for leadership, and she trusted us. And it didn't work out that way. I would like to make a motion because there was a document signed, an employment agreement that most any of us, if we drove a bus or if we cooked, that we signed. I would like to make a motion that we pay her the annual salary because she gave up her job. She walked out of a job to take this one because she trusted us. It was of no fault of her own that this did not go through. Okay?
Well, we discussed this in the work session, but we should have put it on the agenda.
I did
I'll
call
get-
for that, but I brought it up in old business because guidance officer was, or officer, a guidance counselor was old business.
Well, I think it'll be all right to go
Okay,
ahead
and Ms. Sterling, I did return your phone call.
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am, you
Ellis
did.
had, but you didn't return mine. So,
No.
and Mr. Wright, you've looked at that. That is
It
not
is
a
not.
contract.
I was gonna
I
put
didn't
that
say
out.
contract, it was an agreement.
No,
It had the
was
salary,
not-
the
it was
position.
It was not an agreement.
It had,
notice.
That was HR.
Yeah, it was an HR notice they give
Document.
out to everyone when they start. It says you're gonna be working here, you're gonna be in this position.
and it had salary
was
for a
not-
year.
It was not some sort of agreement that the school system signed and said they were gonna do this for you. I was told that initially. I, of course, called administration and got the documents. That's not what it is.
Well, it's very hurtful for me to know that I'm part of a group that does not see that their word is as strong as a contract, because it was a document that had her name, their names,
It
and
is
also
not.
the amount.
And I would encourage you, you'd be less hurt if you call Ms. Hall and get all of the facts before you
Okay.
come in here and say.
We can't go there right now about that, but she knows why I don't return her call. I thank you for hearing me. I have a motion. If it could get a second, that would be lovely. If not,
All right.
it'll fail, and I'll be back here next month.
There you go. Wait. Well, you're really not allowed to, but we're going to permit it. Come on up here and. Okay. Well,
I know I'm invited
anything is
to
supposed to be discussed in a work session before you do it, but we're going to allow it since this is
you.
a touchy
Thank you, sir.
subject. So,
Just for public record, I'd love to know when I'm allowed to speak, when we're allowed to discuss things.
in work, you have to get permission. Get on the work session is
There's
when
a
you're allowed
sign-up
to come up.
sheet before each board meeting that you sign up. It's always at the back for public comment.
How about if I don't know I'm going to have a comment till we get in here? Because I don't know all the facts unless you present it
Well,
to
you're
me.
allowed to sign that paper until we call for it. After the work session's done, that paper's back there. If your name's on it, then we had to give you 3 minutes.
Yes,
There's
sir.
an agenda
Yeah,
printed ahead of time.
yes,
so
of course,
have,
of course.
You have notice
Yes,
ahead of time, and you can sign the public comment sheet
Yes,
to address
yes.
things that are on the agenda.
Okay.
You're-
Well, what if I just like some general information about what's on the agenda? I showed up tonight for the acquisition of land. So I come in and we, award people and congratulations and absolutely thank you for doing that. It needs to be done every time. But then we said, yep, and motion passed. I don't know what land we're buying. I don't know where to look
First
that
of all,
up.
we're not buying any land. We're
Well,
just
it's an
negotiating.
acquisition, sir.
Before this is done, it has to come back before this board and be passed. We don't go out on a whim and buy something without it being passed. The permission
Okay, may I
to,
ask where?
Were you here for the work session?
No, I just showed up. I didn't know when
Work
I'm
session
allowed
is when
to
we
ask.
discuss. That's fine, and I'll just explain that real quick.
Thank you.
to
I wish you would.
Yes. So what we do is we have a work session starting at 5:30 before the board meeting.
5:30.
Everything on the agenda is discussed in that work session. We talked about the land. We talked about every item on there. That is when we discuss what we're going to vote on, and any questions that are asked are supposed to happen in the work session. That's Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
That's for
thank
us
you.
to run a
Thank
meeting
you.
and for everyone on the board as well.
I appreciate
So
that.
that being said, if you have public comment, you can sign your name at the back when you get here when the work session starts. So you know everything that's going on. If you can get here at that time, if you can't, that's fine.
Okay.
But if you sign that paper and then you say, oh, never mind, I don't have that question, you're still on there so that you will have your chance to speak if you need to. But that's what we do.
Thank you very much. That's
You're very
exactly what I needed.
Okay.
all right.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. All right, now we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Once again, we have a motion. Do I get a second? I guess not, so the motion fails due to lack of second. Thank you. All righty, our next board meeting. Is it any other old business? What is our, let's get our meeting. February 2nd. I have a motion and a second. We adjourn. I don't guess we'll discuss that much. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. We're adjourned.
We do have refreshments in the back to celebrate you.
Oh, yeah. Miss Christie says we have refreshments in the back. Okay. Okay.